Yes, we're live. Let me just send the link here to the person that asked me for the link. Very fast. Okay, cool. I'll just get it started. I'll close the door if anyone wants to come in. Okay, so this is going to be very brief, very straight to the point. And we're going to talk a little bit about videos, but if it was just mainly about video, I would get that guy that has the camera to talk. I'm not holding the camera for a reason. So yeah, we'll touch on the video at the end. I hope you guys get out of here with some idea. I don't know if any of you has any experience in marketing or video or stuff. So yeah, basically, this is a presentation about videos, but I don't want you guys to just focus about the video. It's more about how do we get to the point where we're making a video, and how did we get there, and how can we approach the messaging that we're trying to make for this. So, oh, this is not passing. Nice, technical problems. Okay, so I'll just start by introducing myself. My name is Meida. I made sure to put it in the way that you guys have to pronounce it, because a lot of people just call me Mida or Media sometimes because of typos. I work for Skyrise. I am the CMO of Skyrise. In the past, I worked in a very different industry, very formal industry, which I do not like at all, being formal. So I hope we're all very relaxed here, because this is going to be a very relaxed presentation. And yeah, I used to be in real estate, and my background is marketing. I have been in crypto for like a year, and it's a completely different environment, which there's some interesting angles to that. So it's interesting to see how some things that are for sure used in like the traditional environments, like, you know, Web 2 or basically non-Web 3, differ a lot from what's used in Web 3, and that's just a fun fact. But before that, obviously need to give some shout out to Skyrise. Obviously, the sponsor for me to be here is always very good. Thank you, Skyrise, for letting me be here. And what is Skyrise? Does anyone know what we do? Or wonderful, I get to pitch it. So basically, we're kind of divided between two areas. The area that you're seeing now, me and Gonzalo here, which is one of basically our head of videography, we do on the studio side, we're more focused on the activation. So we're more focused on the content creation, on the advertising. Think of it more as like the creative arm of Skyrise. Skyrise Labs, on the other side, is more focused on consultancies, more focused on, we've helped projects, we've incubated projects, so basically new projects that want to launch in Web3 or want to launch in Solana specifically. We try to get them to connect with the people that might, give them the highest chance of success in this environment. So yeah, basically think of it as consultancy, and then everything that is activation: branding, design, copywriting, creative direction, advertising, everything. Very, very quickly. And yeah, we've worked. I don't know if you guys know about Mountain DAO, Island DAO. This event studios is very present in this. We try to. Our main goal as a Skyrise, as a company, is to basically show everything that is being done here in Web3. I'm not technical at all. I don't know anything about coding. I wouldn't be able to code a line of code to save my life. But we try to show what the good things about Web3 are and try to bring them to the masses. I think that's the goal in the future. Okay, so as I said, I'm a marketing person. I'm not a video person, even though I do love content. So I am going to take a bit of this presentation to talk about marketing. And I put this here because this is probably one of my favorite topics to talk about at like Christmas dinners or anytime I'm with my family. Because my first sponsor ever, aka my father, who paid for all of my studies, still to this day doesn't really know what he paid for. So every time I talk to him, it's like, oh yeah, you did marketing. So can I get a design for a post on Instagram? Or whoa, can you help me make an advertising or something? Like, I'm not a designer. Our designer's not here. Again, I could not design anything to save my life. I am a marketeer. I did marketing management. That's what I've done all my life, all my professional life. And yeah, so marketing is not just advertising. A lot of people think of advertising as, oh yeah, you do marketing, right? You could help McDonald's do the I'm loving it or something like that. There's a lot of things that go on before that, And that's where basically we come in. So normally, whenever we talk to clients and they're like, oh, we want to do a video to promote our product, there's so many steps that we have to do before we even get to the stage of that. So this is basically normally my go-to way of explaining it. So everything up until here is something that happens before we even start doing things to the public. So basically, most of marketing stands in this area right here. You know, I don't know if you guys know a company called Nielsen. Nielsen, a very, very big marketing company that does not any sort of advertising or communication or anything. They basically have data. They have a lot of data. They sell data to these big companies like Coca-Cola and everything. Why? Because this stage right here, I would argue it's the most important stage probably of any campaign, because here is where we'll find, okay, how is the situation in the market that we want to enter? How is the legal situation? How's the economic? How's the, what themes are taboo? Are they religiously, are very religious, not religious? What are they open to listening to? So before we even know this, it's very hard for us to even know what we're going to say. Like, it's not, what color should my logo have? Yes, I don't know. Depends on what you're trying to sell. Depends on, what type of people you're trying to achieve. Like the communication that you're trying to get across, who is it for? Why is it for them? Are they the best, option for you to be talking to? So basically we do this, all of this part, which we would call it strategic marketing. And only after doing all of this do we get to the beautiful operational marketing. I just wanted to, I'm not going to go into each one of those, even though I would love to. Otherwise, we'll be here for like 3 hours. Yeah, so then we do get into the operational marketing. We get into the price, the product, the place, the promotion. Some people, the most common assumption is that it's 4P. Some people say it's 6, some people say it's 10. These are the most important. So basically, all of these to just say that before we even get to the communication, we've done all of the things I showed you before. Now, this part is like, okay, how much are we going to charge? Why are we going to charge this? Probably because our research told us that that's, our spot in the market. How is our product? How is our product experience? How are all of these things? And then eventually we get to the promotion, and inside the promotion, that's where we'll get to the communication. So now that we got to the communication, we go into the beautiful template that has been used, I think, probably since the 90s, since the 70s, if I'm not mistaken, which is the AIDA format, which is basically covers that for you to convert someone to, for you to guide someone into an action, you first have to grab their attention. Hopefully, if you keep interacting with them, they'll probably be interested. Eventually, they'll be like you'll give them so much value, there'll be a desire in them to actually go after your product and actually take action. But for today, since I don't want you guys to leave this workshop thinking that this was a clickbaity title, since we're going to be talking about videos, what I want to focus on is attention. And we've heard it so many times, like attention and time are the most valuable currencies, all of this spiel that everyone talks about. Attention in this case, we live in a very interesting era, because if you look like closely at any news outlet, anything that talks, everyone will talk about this. So attention spans are decreasing, which is true. Attention spans are in fact decreasing. But the other side of the coin, which is very interesting, is that even though attention spans are decreasing, TikTok, which is like the attention span killer that everyone likes to point at, introduced 10-minute videos and 60-minute videos. And apparently most of the people that are using the platform are actually using the 10-minute, they're watching the whole thing. So why am I talking about this? The reason why I'm talking about this is that a lot of people tend to just stay there on the attention span, but we live in an era where we have podcasts have never been so big. We have Joe Rogan putting 4-hour podcasts, everyone watches them. Streaming has never been so big. Everyone will watch not everyone, but like there's a big audience of people that will watch like 10 hours of a stream. So what is it then? Our attention spans low? Do people want to see 5-second things, or are people watching like longer things? Movies are long. And so what I really want to dive into is not the time. It's actually the relevance of what we're trying to talk about. And so relevance as in, why should I care? Like, you're talking about something, if it's relevant to me, I'll listen to it for an hour. I mean, I don't know if you guys like sports, but sports are long, and people that like sports, they'll watch them for the whole time. There's a lot of stuff that they don't care, but it's relevant to them. They want to see it. And so um, the way I like to think about it, and the way we normally, whenever we're talking to, be it the client, be it a colleague, or whatever we're talking to, we like to mention that it's always focused. We need to think of people as, there's always some sort of narcissistic area to that. The people are like, yes, I am giving you my attention, I am giving you my time, because probably there's something in what you're saying that will make me feel better about myself. So there's always that egotistical part. And if we do not think about this, it's going to be hard for us to even start crafting a message if we don't know. If for example, and if I came in this room, we're in a Web3 event. If I came in here, I don't know if any of you like types of wood or are looking for like new types of wood for your house or something. But if I came in here and just presented like okay guys, today we're talking about aspen and hard maple. These are very, very nice types of wood. You probably would just leave, because you're probably here to, you're doing, some people are submitting for the hackathon. You want to know, how can I what can I learn in this event that will help me get the best possible result in this event? So then again, it's like, there's no problem with that. There's always that narcissistic aspect. And if I do not know that, I don't know how to talk to you. Like, I know what you guys are looking for, right? And so I always try to put this into 3 very simple ways of thinking. Who are the people I'm talking to? What do they want? And what is it that makes it very, very, very hard to ignore? One thing, let's think of an investor. I don't know if any of you here are investors, but whenever I'm thinking of an investor, what does an investor want? The first layer that will probably come to is like, okay, an investor wants to make money. He wants to put the money and get his return. But I'd like to go even one layer ahead, which is like, what is the most narcissistic way of thinking that the audience could have? He does not only want to make money, he most likely wants to get in on an opportunity that either other people passed on, and so he gets that recognition, I'm the one that you guys never wanted, you never believed in this. I did, I'm special, I'm better than you. Even if they don't say this is like psychology, right? Marketing is psychology. And what would make it impossible to ignore? Maybe the fact that other people passed on it gets him to look again. Let me see. Let's look at it from a different angle. Might I be able to find something here that other people couldn't? Maybe. One thing that I noticed, and again, I haven't been in crypto that long, even though I've met people on this event who are like, I'm a veteran in Web3. I came from real estate, and real estate, for you to be a veteran, you have to have like 20 to 25 years of experience. Here, a veteran has been here for 3 years. So I've been here for like about 1 year and a half. And most of the things that I hear, people are focused on the technology. Everyone focuses, which is normal. It's a very early stage of this industry. People always focus on the technology. So I thought I'd bring my favorite example of how it can be a bad thing or a good thing, again, depending on who we're talking to just focus on the technology itself or just the features. Thinking about this is like, I wasn't born back then, so I never touched one of these things, but this is how big it would be, the hardware necessary to store 5 megabytes of memory. How can we go from this? Let's say that eventually technology evolved. Now you can store 5 megabytes in something that's half the size. Now you can store 5 megabytes in something that it's half of the size, and so on and so on and so on. We get to a point where I can store gigabytes of memory in something extremely small. Talking to most of the people that we've talked over, this Web3, specifically Solana events, most people will focus on that side. So, the technology, we're making it better. It's better because of this. It's better because of, and they start using words that I don't understand at all. Like, oh, it's the API, it's the hyper atomic layer that then goes and has an SVM or whatever. I'm not a technical person, so I don't care about that. If we're targeting, if thinking about what I was saying, so if I'm trying to talk to people about features, and I'm talking about something that is new about features, what will most likely happen is I might target what we call the early adopters. So probably the people that want to be at the forefront of technology. They want to know what's the newest thing that I can acquire. What's the problem there? Some assumptions that I can make right off the bat, they're probably going to have a high spending power. So probably not a lot of the population will be in that category. So just by that alone, maybe not a lot of people will want this. So if I go and I talk about, oh, by the way, this is just how I would imagine a conversation like this, probably before the guy that we know, Steve Jobs, would introduce the iPod. It's mostly like, oh yeah, man, this is amazing. Now I can get 5 gigabytes in like such a small space. People will love this because they recognize that this is such a great technology. The reality is maybe it wouldn't have been such a big hit if he didn't think of, okay, but the people that will listen to this, what do they care about this? What does it mean to have 5 gigabytes of memory in practice? And I did a spoiler very fast, but what is probably one of my favorite lines of copywriting ever, the way that Steve Jobs introduced it was not, hey, now you can have 5 gigabytes of memory and you can have all of these songs. No, he put it in a way that people can understand. So at this time, people probably had records, CDs, they might have some Walkmans, they might have some, MP3 players. This makes it even simpler. I don't care how much memory it gets. I care that whenever I leave my house and I go to the gym, I'll take this little thing. I can have my playlist for the gym, but then if I go to work, it's still the same thing because I can have a different playlist. So now in my sense, so going back to that narcissistic idea, I'm not thinking, oh, I'll have to have this CD and this CD. I'll have to have a lot of CDs there. No, with one thing, my life is easier. That's what I care about. I don't care if it's 5 gigabytes, 10 gigabytes, 1 gigabyte. Couldn't care less. And so you're probably at this point thinking, yes, it's very nice. We talked about a video. How do we get to the video part? So at this point, we've kind of understood some of the parts that we need to do some research. We need to understand a lot of things before we even get to do and by video, saying video here is the same as saying like an ad poster or just like a content plan for whatever brand or product I'm trying to promote. How do I make it? We've talked about relevance. We've talked about attention. I've talked that attention spans are in fact getting lower, but if it's relevant, I'll still watch it. The problem is we live in a time, and I think that's what is meant by the lack of attention span, that let's say, those times where they put like a dog in the middle, and then they put one person in one side, one person on the other, and both have to call the dog, and then they'll have to fight for who the dog goes. We live in a time that happens, but instead of 2 people calling for us, it's like 1 million people calling for us at the same time, and we don't know where to turn our heads. So that's why it's like I don't have a lot of time to see every option. How can I grab the attention if I'm one of the people? How can I grab the attention of the dog? Probably the best, if I have a treat, maybe the dog will want me. But then everyone has treats. So how can I differentiate my treat from the treat of the other dogs if he has very, very little time to look at it? Maybe if my treat is different, has a stronger smell, has a weird smell that is not, the dog is not used to that, maybe the dog will look at me and maybe it'll just try. It doesn't matter that it will eat the treat, but the point is, the first most important part I need to focus on is how can I get the dog to look at me as a marketeer, obviously. And so that's where we get the hook. This is the most talked about term in all of content creation because it's arguably the most important part. Again, I can watch a movie for an hour and a half if I believe that it's going to be interesting to me. How do I know it's going to be interesting to me? There's got to be something that hooks my attention to look at it first. Even, I might have the best looking table here. If I don't see it, I'm not going to know it's the best one in the world. So first of all, I need to make sure that I'm looking at it. As a marketeer or as someone that's selling a product, if I believe my product is the best, the first thing I get to do is to get people to even look at my product. And so we'll go over a little bit of these. Most of them you've probably seen examples of. I believe that all of them should follow a little bit of this one, the pattern interrupt, which is there's so many things that we can see online that we get used to them, and we get like kind of, we get into this situation where it's okay, just another one, especially if I'm on TikTok, for example, it's just another video. How can I stop? I stop if I have a pattern interrupt. So something that is different and my brain is kind of confused and I have to look at it. And this is a great example that I saw. So this is a video, I think when I took these screenshots, the video was like 4 point something million likes. So probably like 10 million views. You see, like I didn't want to put a video here, but if you see like the video, these are the first seconds. She's talking about her product. The first thing you'll see as you're scrolling is that there's a girl that's falling, and then she does fall on the ground. What happens is that it then cuts away to she's in somewhere else, and she's talking about it. What happened here psychologically is very interesting because it takes a little bit of that famous cognitive bias, which is the closure effect. Basically, as humans, we all think we're very rational, but we're making so many decisions every day that we don't, like there's biases, there's like things that we are doing every day that we're not even thinking about them. We're just doing them automatically. This is a very great example of that. There's 3 seconds there or 2 seconds that I saw this. My brain now is thinking, are they going to mention that? Is the woman okay? Is everything going well with her? Like they just let her fall on the ground just like that? In the meantime, I'm watching the video. I'm paying attention to whatever she's saying. This is probably one of the most used, if you notice this, examples, because again, the first 3 seconds, it got me to stop. Not even 3, probably 2. It got me to stop. Now that I stopped, until I finish the video, my brain, even though I'm getting the information, is thinking, there's got to be something about that. They're going to mention that for sure. And so it stops me from scrolling, basically. Here's another example. Like this girl, just like she cloned herself. As you go and watch it, you don't know if they're twins, if it's an editing trick, you don't know. But like, again, your mind is like, oh, there's something here that is different. I don't know why. The same with this, but this one involves a little bit of more editing tricks, which like the guy keeps, as he talks, he's pouring water over this cup. He goes to the top and never like flows away. Like it never pours over. So it's like something is not working right. Again, so if you know these little things, it's like 3 seconds. 3 seconds can change how long people will see. If it's a 10-minute video, people will watch the 10 minutes if you manage to hook them. I saw one girl doing one thing that I found amazing, which was she did a very good hook at the beginning, and then the video was 1 minute and nothing happens in the video. But it had millions of views because like the algorithm, the more people see it, the more people interact, the more it will bring, it to more people. But that proves to me that it doesn't really matter that much what is happening throughout the video or how long it is. As long as I manage to hook them, most likely they're going to watch the whole video. There's other stuff. This is just examples you probably see, like some bold statements. Here it can be a question, some bold questions. If you know what your product that you're building is solving, amazing. You can just do a question like, I don't know, let me try and think of an example. I saw the other day, because some of you might think or might be thinking at this point, yeah, but like you're focusing too much on consumer focused products. Some products are B2B. So sometimes I'm like, business want to know the actual features. What is it better about it? I saw a great example. I don't know if it was yesterday or the other day about, actually even better than the example I saw. Yesterday, I don't know if you guys went to the baseball game. There was a baseball game that we went to. And I found myself after the game talking about Shohei Ohtani, like this big player that has a huge contract. And I was thinking, if I was like an accountant or like a tax advisor, something like that, a good piece of content for my business would be to explain that is mainstream knowledge, like this big player, but explain it in the way that how much did the Dodgers save by doing the contract they did, which is basically like, I'm not going to go into the contract or how it was, But just like picking up on these different things could be good. The question is, oh, how much could you save if you had hired Shohei Ohtani, for example? It's like, what? I'm never gonna hire this $700 million player. So yeah, just think of these like different little questions. And then the king of foreshadowing, which is make sure I'm not wasting my time. If you help me make sure I'm not wasting my time, amazing. Like Mr. Reese is king of this. That's why it's so big. Where he goes like, oh, here's how we cured blindness to 1,000 people in the first 3 seconds. And the video is 20. Did you really? Let me see. Let me go through the whole video and see that. Or, oh, we built 1,000 water wells. We gave water to I don't know how many people in Africa. And then he makes sure in the beginning of the video, he tells you everything that's going to be happening. Very simple. Okay? And so what we were talking before, like knowing who you're talking to, knowing what they care about will help you, cater your message that you know your products better than anyone else. And so if you know your product very well, you probably can adapt the communication to whoever it is that you're communicating it to. And so the hook is very important because you will get people to listen to you, but make sure whatever it is that you're making them listen to, they care about. Because always remember, they are literally paying you their time. So make it worth it. I just want to end it because I realize that some people might be like, okay, this is amazing, but I don't know how to edit. The typical things that I've heard from people. I've done a lot of, I've done mostly in Portuguese, but I've done videos for like TikTok or for podcasts on Spotify and stuff. Most of the videos I've done have been with my phone. Everything can be edited through the easiest editing app ever. Anything you need to learn, you in the 2-minute tutorial on YouTube, you'll be able to get like the main concepts, how to cut, how to put stuff together. And if you don't know how to make the script as effective as it can possibly be, you can always use, and I don't mean just ChatGPT, any AI, but there's specific GPTs that can help you, copywriting specifically for something that you're looking for. And so if you have any, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't know how to make videos. I don't know. Try. The best way is to, try. You know what you're saying. Use TikTok. Some people hate TikTok. I know that when I entered crypto and Web3, my shock was like, there's only X. People only use X, Telegram, Discord. That's even better because you can just use TikTok to try the hooks. You can just put the same video 100 times. Change, make the hook a little bit smaller, make it a little bit longer, change something in the background, and you'll see which one is the best. And then once you know which one is the best, use it on X, use it on YouTube, wherever you're going to use it. And if this doesn't help, of course, I have to go back to the sponsor of my presence here. If after all this you still have a lot of doubts, you can always talk to us because that's what we do. We not only do the video part, but this is the work that goes behind the scenes. So we try to understand who you're talking to and how the people that you're talking to want to be talked to, basically. And that's pretty much it. I don't know if you guys have any questions. If you do, please tell them now or hold them forever. But yeah, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for coming. Do you have any question? Yes.
Is X the best way to reach out to you?
Yes, you can use X or we're here. We can change Telegrams. We also have a website that I forgot to put here, which is skyriselabs.io. You can always check it there. We're on YouTube. We're on TikTok. X is because we're mostly focused on Web3. That's where people are. That's where we have to be, basically. But yeah. Any other questions?
Do you have a video of something you have done?
Yes, of course.
Funny or whatever?
Yes, my personal ones are in Portuguese, so you probably will not be useful here, but we have on X. I can definitely share some. Let me go here.
So can you take sort of like any situation in the video and then you can just impose like the context? Or how do you so for example, like if you look at this situation, like you take a video, right? And then that might mean many different things. Do you put your own spin into it, like by putting the words in the caption, or like?
Sorry, I don't
So
think.
for example, if you take a video of something, right?
Okay.
And then that could be many different things, right? Like somebody's yelling, but it might be happy, it might be angry, it might be sad.
Oh, okay.
You know?
So it does. So it's not open to interpretation. So
Yeah.
it's specific. I mean, there's always that is a very good question, but at the same time, you can always and Gonzalo is here. The part of the video probably could help you better on that. But there's always a way for you to kind of control the emotion that you're trying to go for. That's always something that could be culturally relevant. Depending on the.
Okay, so if I want to show an angry entrepreneur, he didn't get paid.
An angry entrepreneur.
He didn't get paid.
He didn't get paid. Okay.
That's the context.
And you want to show that through just a normal video?
Okay, let me put an angry entrepreneur. He didn't get paid. That's the context. What video would you suggest to?
Okay. I mean, there's a lot of ways you can just, first of all, if that's without any voiceovers, without any context other than the text, you could go and show other things around him. So if there's someone that is banging on a table or has a phone or has the sounds that you can put, it's in an office, maybe there's people passing by him, maybe he's dressed in a certain way that shows that he's doing something. I mean, just by itself might be hard, but there's always way. It's always like, it's not just about the person that you're looking at. The environment, the mise en scène, everything around it can make it look like an office, basically. I think that would help in that sense. An office doesn't necessarily mean an entrepreneur. It could just be someone that works at, just a normal office worker. There's a difference there. I mean, there's stereotypes around, visual stereotypes around entrepreneurs, maybe through that way. I don't know. There's always creative ways that you can get to that. I mean, I would have to probably think a little bit more about that, but yeah, sure. You don't always need to have text to say exactly what's happening. I mean, even great examples that I can think of, for example, even just with an image, you can tell a lot of things. For example, I don't know if you've seen this example of, I think it was McDonald's that did this. So they wanted to say, Happy Father's Day or something like that. Instead of saying Happy Father's Day, they did an image with a burger and the sesame seeds were just around the bun as it was like a hairline receding. Just like that, you would say and then it's like happy something. It wasn't like, I can't remember exactly the copy that they had, but just that image alone, people and it was Father's Day, so just that image alone, people can get a lot of, information just from that. That is the point where it's why is he mad? What made him mad? Just that would probably not be enough. You probably need a little bit more context before or after what's happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, let me check here some of the videos. Oh, I have one. Damn, it's in Portuguese. I have one very good hook that was working. This was 2022. Let me try and go here. That was a different type of hook. Is more of a. Sorry about that. No, thank you. It's basically the way it works is it starts from the end. So it starts with the last 2 seconds, maybe, and the last 2 seconds, then when you complete the video, the last 2 seconds are the beginning. So once you see it, at first, it's weird because it's there's a lot of context that I'm missing here. I'm going to show it to you, but it's in Portuguese, unfortunately. This one's. Sorry. Let me start it again. So this, then if I go to the end, I don't know if you can look. How is it? In Portuguese. Let me see if I find a non-Portuguese one.
So what's happening there? What's the context?
The context here. So this is just a video of a trip that I had done. This is my best performing video on TikTok. No, my second best. This one has 20 something K. My best performing had 300 and something K. But the context here is just, this is not a business thing. This is just a trip that I did, and I wanted to tell a story about it. So I made it very fast paced. Let me go on the actual Skyrise account. Give me a second. Oh, we have these ones. Where the hell is it? We did some. Oh my God, where is it? We did some flash interviews when it was Breakpoint last year. Here we go. Okay. Oh, this is actually a good one. So this is a video that I'm going to show. You know the vlog we did in Koh Samui? So this is a vlog of our company, and it starts from something is happening. So let me show you. This is in the wrong. This is the beginning of the video. Why is it going full screen? Okay, whatever. It start. Why does it not work? Everything that's gonna happen through the video. It's Masala. Let me go back. But like here is like, and I can see then the. I don't know if I have the analytics of this specific video. We'll share one. But yeah, so like this is an example. It's a bit different from this. Is the goal here is also different. So like the goal here, we're not trying to specifically go in and show, oh, we can make your product, we can make a video for you. We're kind of showing the personality behind what's happening behind this company, because we're at a lot of these events, and a lot of people like, oh, how is it, you know, how is it to work in an agency like this? What do you guys do? What's your daily life like? And this was the goal for this type of videos. And believe it or not, these type of videos actually got us to work with some other people that are looking to get this type of content for themselves, you know. How do I go here? But yeah, I mean, you guys can feel free to go and explore the socials. All of the socials will be Skyrise Labs or Skyrise Studios. Twitter will be the most where we have most things, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Do you guys have any other questions?
Yeah, how do you know you actually have this hook that will work? Because I mean, I've been an engineer, software engineer all my life. Sometimes I think I have this really funny hooks. I tell my co-founders or BD sales, and maybe less than 50% are actually, they think that they're good, or maybe not. And then even though, let's say we agree on something that I suggested and they like, but then we maybe try to make some, whether it's just a picture with some hook, some line, right, question list, but it's some, it also doesn't work. So
Yeah.
How to know that?
So the best way, there's obviously two ways. One of them is trial and error. So you've done so many, you kind of understand what works. But the second one, and that's what I was talking about and why I'm so obsessed with TikTok as a tool for these kind of things, is that there's no real way to know. Because sometimes what you think is going to work is not going to work. What you think is going to be, pardon my French, but dog shit, ends up actually working. And these guys work with, you can come in. These are all also from Skyrise. But sometimes it's just a matter of, I mean, sometimes I'm gonna ask around the people that work for us, and they might not like an idea, but then the data shows otherwise, you know. So like, it's all about trying. Like, there's no formula that is like this will work. Like, there's the best ideas that you can then change just a little bit here, just a little bit there. You know, there's I couldn't tell you, I could not stand here and tell you, oh, if you say exactly this will work, because that doesn't work like that. You know, you have some videos that are posted twice, exactly the same video. One of them will have 1 million views, one of them will have 20. You know, sometimes you change, for example, the word that you're starting with, that you don't start the whole word. You start mid-sentence, or you finish the sentence in, you know, it's so many things are happening on your feed, that's the thing that will break you at that point in time probably will help you get more people to watch it. The idea here is, you know, you have to break a pattern. Watch a lot, see what people are doing the most, and change it a little bit. Cut it in the beginning, cut it in the end, leave a word out, put some, like one thing that I've noticed works very well is when people are doing something other than just talking. So if I'm talking to you and in the background there's a dog here that is like peeing on the side there for some reason, people will go there and just, why is there a dog? They will comment, more people will see, and then maybe you get to the actual audience that you're talking about. Most things that are very good, and that we go now back to copywriting, and I talk about copywriting because most of the hooks that work, most of my copywriting colleagues, they don't like the hooks, but they work. So then, is it, professionally good, or is it good in terms of results that it's generating? So the boring answer, but the best answer I could give you, is just try it more and more and more. Whenever you have the hook, put the same video, but just change something. Yes, sorry.
I do want to ask you a question. Like, I do like to try out different things. For right now, I have a project. It targeted at business, like small business, and so on. It's a financial product. Can I still use the same method, like try different things?
Yeah, like the thing with when I'm saying try different things, I'm mentioning specifically trying TikTok.
Oh.
Why do I say this? It's not that you're not going to use X. You are going to use X, but first you're going to get the best idea from TikTok. This is talking about organically. So like if you don't want to spend money on ads or anything, because for a long time, the problem with marketing in general, and the problem with communication, is that you would have to talk to a lot of people that don't care about what you're saying. Right now, you're talking to everyone, but eventually you'll get to the people that care because it's an algorithmic based thing. So the thing with TikTok is that it will never penalize you for putting the same video 10 times. They don't care about that. They care about the video that performs the better. So if you want to test, don't test on X, test on TikTok. The one that you get more people to watch then goes on X or Instagram or whatever you're doing. But yeah, this is my bad for not saying that part specifically for TikTok. Even Instagram Reels, if you want to test on TikTok, throw it to the other platforms.
So like X, we need to treat it like more.
Yeah, because you mean professionally or treating more
Like consistent.
Yeah. Like X doesn't, I'm not sure at this point how it is because these things are always changing, but I wouldn't say that X will not penalize you for posting the same thing every time. I think they will not like it. TikTok doesn't care because there's a flood of content. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Okay. Yeah. So I try to just ask the other like marketing, like we sort of should build our brand on X. So.
No, for sure.
Okay.
X, if you're targeting Web3 businesses,
Yeah.
right? X is X, unfortunately, because it's not my favorite social media,
Okay.
but it is the place where it's the best channel for Web3 marketing, for sure. And so Web3, that's where the people are, if
Yeah.
you want to get to them.
I see.
TikTok is getting its own share of like
Yeah.
Web3 content because it's getting bigger. With them, even Phantom and stuff have a lot of stuff. Not posted by them, but a lot of people talking about Phantom and stuff on TikTok. It's growing, but as you've seen, like TikTok has all of these segments. You have the lawyer talk, the crypto talk, all of these things. It's just a matter of catering to more to that side, and eventually, getting more of the people that have the algorithm set to that, so you can get better numbers. Because at the same time, you might get a lot of views, but not for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Not because the people understood what you were saying, but at least you'll know that that hook worked. Maybe something else you need to change. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know if you guys have any other questions. And yeah, I'll be here. I'm literally sitting down on that desk all the time. So if you need to ask anything, feel free. And yeah, thank you guys for coming up. And how do I now stop this live? I'm still live? I am still live.